Hey guys, Deathslitter Magic here, and the question on everybody's mind is, unstable, can the lands by themselves make enough money to make the boxes worth buying and opening? For single sellers, I mean for you too, obviously, but for single sellers, because if you want to buy some of the lands or the singles, you want them to actually be available. And for them to actually be available, those companies have to choose to open them, and they're not going to choose to open them if the lands are worth $1.85 a piece, which is what they were initially selling for. But that's the thing, customer demand would far outstrip the supply, and that would raise the price, and then it would go back up. So basically, I mean, I hate to ruin the ending of this video, but no matter what the prices look like, now or in the future or ever, if somebody is opening a box, it's because it's profitable, and if they're not opening a box, the customers are going to demand full art lands until it is profitable to open a box. And then the other, it goes backwards too. If you can make $200 on an $84 at the distributor box of unstable by opening it and just selling the lands, people are going to do it until that is not the case, until it's just barely like a 5% profit margin, and then they're going to stop opening it abruptly. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, the lands are going to adjust their own price to be profitable to open a box. So this is really simple. For eBay fees, TCG player fees, Card Shark fees, shipping, envelope costs, printing, labels, tape, all everything, all things considered, to turn just enough of an acceptable profit, you have to get about $105 out of a box. 110, I'd say, is a little bit more accurate. So that has to be the real true up to the minute street value EV of a box in order to keep opening it in bulk and actually make money. 110 divided by 36 is $3.06 rounded. So there you go. $3 lands. Lands are going to be $3, the end, right? Not quite. I mean, they're eventually going to settle right around $3, but there's the fact that islands are selling higher than forests because they look more awesome, I guess. I don't really know. First of all, let me just throw this out there, okay? I don't know when or how or where this was explained or spoiled, because it wasn't in the normal spoiler articles I read, but there's going to be tokens in Unstable. And the ones that are specific to unstable, like they're really quirky, weird, one-of-a-kind tokens, they're, I guess, all foil, 100% foil, I guess. I'm still not 100% clear on that because this just hit me like an hour ago and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't remember seeing any of the tokens. And then the ones that are more, you can use this outside the game, like clue tokens and, elemental tokens, goats, goblins, rogues, spirits, like 1/1 flying spirits, stuff that has been played before and is pretty common even in like Modern and Commander. Those are full art. In fact, I think they're full art borderless. Like, they're pretty nuts looking. So I don't know in this set if 1 in 10 boosters will be a stupid spam marketing waste of space card and then the other 90% will be tokens like most sets. I think it's about 10%. I haven't really heard. I know they lowered the number of spam cards. That was a fun announcement. This could be 100% tokens. They could just skip the spam cards. But then again, I mean, this is basically like a limited print run, like a master set sort of, and it has basic lands in it. I legitimately don't remember if Conspiracy 2 had basic lands in it, but I feel like it didn't. So it's actually weird that these have them at all, but they are numbered in the number. 216 includes the 5 lands, by the way. But of course it doesn't include the tokens, so nobody really knows, but what I will say is the full art tokens are $1 a piece. No matter where you look, every vendor, $1 a piece. And I'd say that's pretty fair. It's no fun for anybody if somebody just buys one and then it costs like 85 cents to ship it, basically, and you can't send it with tracking. But, people who buy tokens usually buy them like 10 at a time or whatever. So that's cool. I mean, there's some value there. And then honestly, the foil tokens are going for like 25 and 50 cents. That's not bad. And it looks like it's about a 50-50 ratio, give or take. So, if you even added we'll say 40 cents to every pack, that's not bad. 40 cents times 36 is another $14. It's not insignificant. So just keep in mind some small amount of value will come from the tokens solely based on the fact that the tokens are constructed format legal. They're legal in other formats. Now, the other thing to consider is foil full art lands, which those seem to be going for $70 on the low end. I mean, I can't really find them anywhere for lower than 70. In fact, 73 is the current going price on eBay, but I thought, let's just give it the benefit of the doubt and say it'll be a nice flat even 70 when everybody gets greedy and undercuts each other. And honestly, it'll probably fall to 50. But I'm using the prices right now. So we'll come back to the foils because, I mean, they're not very common, obviously. Foil full arts, I mean, you guys have seen, like, Hour of Devastation, even like BFZ, where it was like 100% full art. Pulling foils of them was not terribly common. But what about just the lands? Now, like I said, I've seen them selling pre-order like weeks ago from not so wise vendors who are already, you know, just kind of saying, oh my god, fire sale the set. Just like don't pre-order as much. I don't know why they feel like they need to fire sale it like 6 weeks out. But anyway, they were selling them for like $185 for some artwork and like $250 to $3 for like islands and stuff. That's an average of like we'll say $225 multiplied by 36. No, you didn't make money on the box. So unless they were really heavily counting on token sales or something, that's not smart. So I'm looking at real prices. If you want the real price on anything ever, go to eBay because that's like driven by the market more than any other site. Like Card Kingdom, Troll and Toad, all them, they can set the price at whatever they want to ensure their margins. And it's just brand loyalty, marketing, you know, customer base, whatever. And then you got like TCG Player where it's like they just use some algorithm and some equation and listings that have never proven that the card is ever sold for that price, and they smash it all together to get some just fantasy price that doesn't reflect reality at all. In some cases it's accurate, especially under like really high sales volumes, but otherwise it could be heavily manipulated or is just by sheer accident and inaccuracy of the equation, it is not accurate. So pre-sale, who the heck knows, because that's another factor that just makes it go even wonkier. So I just thought, let's go for pre-sales that like actually sold verifiably on eBay. So recent listings that have sold items like 26 of these lots sold, and then also actual sold listings. So if you take those across index them, it looks like they're about $4 a piece, and that is legitimately like it's like 3 + 1 in shipping. Yeah, you're paying that shipping. It costs almost $1 to ship them out. It's more like 75 cents, but still. Add in staff labor hours to package all them, and you know address the envelopes with maybe a label printer, and yeah, you're at about $1. So, okay, I mean, they're $4 a piece out of your pocket. It's just the seller's only getting 3, but still they're worth 4, I guess you would say. If you were to look up the actual, like, I need to purchase one now value, you're going to pay 4. But let's not use that because only a crazy person would sell them one at a time. I don't know why anybody's even bothering. They must be banking on people buying more than one, and then they just get pissed when somebody buys just one, which happens from experience all the damn time. Like, if I have 8 of a very valuable popular mythic, I'll throw them all up. Or I should say 7. If I had 8, I'd do 2 play sets. If I had 7, I'll throw them up and 7 purchases. I guarantee it. 7 different people. They probably live in 7 different states. Every damn time. Guys, can you just like stop doing that? Just stop placing orders for one card. Anyway, if you were to look at the bulk purchases, a mid-range one would be, okay, I'm selling 1 of each. So it's a set of 5 total, 1 mountain, 1 plains, 1 forest, you get it. $360 each. But now let's look at the way that I'm going to sell them, because back in BFZ days, I would sell them about 50 at a time. So the most accurate I could find right now is a set of 20. So it's 4 mountains, 4 plains, etc., and you get 20 total. It's all 5 times 4 of each. Those seem to be going for $3.15 each average, not for the lot, but for each individual card. And like I said, the islands are worth more, the mountains are worth less, but just you're buying the lot. I mean, if I open 1,000 boxes, I'm going to have the same number of every one, so I can't just sell the island separately. That'd be stupid. So in my vendor shoes, that's how I'm going to sell them is, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. If I were to do that, $315. Okay, so let's take $315 and multiply it by 36. So how much value did I get just out of the basic lands? Per box, $113.40. So that's just barely above the margin I stated earlier where people would stop opening them. And that makes sense because there's all the value, right? Well, if you get $14 worth of tokens, that's 14 more bucks. But let's talk about the foil lands. Let's return to that because that is the factor that everybody's forgetting. And they should forget it because in one given pack, you have a 0.864 chance of pulling one. So you could open a box and I guess you have more of a chance of pulling one than not, but you still don't have very good odds of pulling one. Like if you opened 100 packs, you'd get about 2.5 foil lands. So not very good until you consider the fact that its value contribution ratio multiplier coefficient, whatever, is 0.864, obviously. And they're worth $70 minimum. So that means like per box, you just take 70 times 0.864 and you get $60.48. So we'll just say $60. Well, you add $60 to the 113, and holy crap, you're at $173 damn dollars. $173 EV for a not legal playable set. That is pretty damn good. And let's say, okay, catastrophic disaster. Okay, the lands hit 250 and the foils hit 35. That is still $120.24 per box, which is well within comfortable, keep opening it type of, single seller mindset. They're in the black. And remember, that's with selling 0 of the mythics, 0 of the rares, 0 of the uncommons, 0 of the commons, no full sets, nothing. Oh, also, I didn't add in the $14 in tokens, so it could be $134 in that case. So right now, I mean, everybody keeps saying, oh, the cards are worthless, cards are worthless. They're looking up like the 9 cent to 15 cent per common, 25 cents per uncommon, and like 50 cents to $1 per mythic price, which is borderline worthless. I mean, imagine if a standard set did that. The highest and the lowest mythic are like $1. Can you imagine that? I mean, that would be Homelands 2.0. But the EV of a box of Homelands is like $38. Like right now, today, it's like $38. Oh my God. So pretending that this was a standard set because it costs the same per booster box, so why not? Imagine every mythic, rare, and uncommon and common being worth virtually nothing. And then that's your starting point, and still you're at, I mean, right now, what did I say? $173 per box? That is like really good, like really, really, really good. So everybody's saying, oh, Unstable's going to be a disaster. It's not going to sell. Nobody's going to open it. Vendors are going to run out. I mean, I've seen pre-orders sell out because people are kind of, well, one, they're selling the lands for $1.85 and then selling out because they're just idiots. They're just plain idiots. They're reading the market wrong, making a bad decision, and now they're stuck to a bunch of pre-orders that are not going to make them as much money as the common market value for the cards right now. But that's their own stupidity, and whatever. You want to ruin your own business, go for it. But also remember, nobody really knows how much they're really going to get from their distributor, and the distributors don't know how much they're really going to get from Wizards until like the last second. And I am not exaggerating that. So if it says, oh, the pre-sales, the pre-orders are completely sold out, it literally means the pre-orders are sold out, not, oh, we know we're getting 80 cases and they're all sold. I mean, first of all, if the set turns out to be terrible, which, I mean, everybody thinks, yeah, it's automatically terrible, which, as I've proven in this video, is incorrect, they want to limit the amount that they have to open, like that they are obligated to open to fill the pre-order. So if they, sell half as many pre-orders as they wanted to, good, now they're only obligated to open half the number of boxes to fill the pre-orders, which is really good if the set isn't worth anything. So don't let the whole sold out, sold out, sold out everywhere thing get you down or make you at all concerned. It's just people covering their butts. So it is what it is. That said, nobody in the player base, because remember, there's the player base that buys boxes and opens them, and then there's the giant mega corps and sellers like me that open the singles and sell them, okay? The player base, nobody wants to buy a box and open it. They'll draft it, but nobody is like, yeah, I'm gonna, spend $115 on a box and open it because there's just so much value. No, nobody is opening this. Nobody. I mean, quite literally, 0 persons alive, 0 human beings are going to open this for the fun of it and the value unless they're drafting it with their friends. And then on the flip side, everyone, and once again, I mean literally 100% of the people I asked want the full art lands, and they want as many of them as they can get their hands on. Some people have already actually placed pre-orders, they want them so badly. Other people are trying to negotiate deals with other people who are going to go to the unstable drafts to get their lands after the fact, and they've already set up trades and reserved cards. They're like, hey, I'll give you this $3 rare for every one you get, or I've got some walking ballistas, I've got some, heavily sought after cards, and I'll trade them for like 4 full art lands if you get them. So with nobody opening them but single sellers, and they're kind of skittish and nervous about it because it looks bad to them if they don't know how to do math like I do apparently, and then everyone wanting them, A little bit of a disconnect there. So I'm just throwing the possibility out there that in the first 2 weeks after the release of Unstable, the lands might hit like $5 because the demand is ridiculous and the supply is artificially chopped more than in half. That is a perfect storm waiting to come together. Now, demand isn't infinite and people won't just pay whatever, if they hit $10 a card, no, it's not going to be the same demand level because some people are like, I want 21 of them for my deck. I'm not going to drop $4 a piece on them. That's like a boatload of money. It's like $84. $84 on a basic land base. I don't like my deck that much. Then again, if you got a $1,500 modern deck, maybe you do, but you're also probably not running 21 basic lands. So, people have their amount that they're willing to pay, and I'm actually curious. Leave your estimate down below. I shouldn't have said that because almost everything with a $sign in it gets automatically marked as spam. So I don't know, just leave the $sign off, I guess. In fact, type out the numbers themselves. Like type out the word 4 and then like 50 after it. Like I'm willing to pay $4.50, but not a penny more. Screw it, I'll just go through and unflag them all manually. Even I don't want to read through that. But what is your top dollar for buying a couple of these, we'll say? Like for a deck or however many you want, how much will you pay? Because honestly, I wouldn't even pay 3 a piece, I don't think. Now remember, I'm poor as hell and I'm also cheap as hell. So, some people are like, yeah, I'd drop $5 a piece for like 5 of them to go in one of my decks. It's $25, whatever. And I'd be like, $25? You know how many tacos I can get with that? You're a crazy person. God, let me get out a monocle for you to wear. But do I think that after release, people are just going to open this like crazy because, oh, look at the $170 EV that nobody's talking about except for me? Well, unless vendors literally all subscribe to me and watch this video, I don't think so. So are they going to just over-open it and be like, oh, crap, people aren't willing to pay $3 a piece, whoops, and they got to drop them to $2 a piece? I really don't see that happening. I just don't, even $250, I don't see the cards going under $250 as a whole in most of the market, like, ever after release. Just ever. Like, right now, next year, a week from now, a month from now, 10 years from now, I just don't see the lands going under $250 a piece. They're just too darn uncommon, and if they go below $250, instantly it screeches to a halt and everybody stops opening the boxes. So, basically it can't go below $250 unless people are, pocketing that much on the foil versions. So at the end of the day, you take the tokens, you take the foil lands, you take the regular lands at exact current market price, and then you take, maybe some foil mythics will be $5, maybe, just a little bit extra value, another $10 per box or whatever, and just blah. Maybe you could take all the rares and mythics and buy list them for an average of $10 a box. You'd be right around $190 to $200 EV per box. So a $200 EV is a hell of a lot higher than people were worried about. They were just writing this entire set off as worthless because they're silver bordered and you can't play the cards. Well, there's more to it than that. So to answer the original question, yes, the lands can prop it up by itself, but also don't forget the full art tokens, the foil tokens, foil mythics, buy list prices in bulk, and full sets that you can sell, one of every rare, uncommon, common, and maybe mythic, and just everything else you can do to make money. It brings it up to a very comfortable level. So don't worry. I think because of that, people are going to open it. There's going to be availability. It's going to sell very well, and everybody will be pretty happy. It will not go down in history as a terrible failure of a set. So I'm very happy to deliver good news for once, because there's very little good news when it comes to Wizards' decisions and products lately. Speaking of that, I'm sure these will bend like crazy. They'll probably be pre-bent right out of the box. I'm surprised they didn't call it uncurved or unbent, just to be self-deprecating, which actually, if they won't even admit that it's a problem to themselves, then I guess maybe they wouldn't name an entire product after it, but whatever. Oh, just a reminder at the end here, you have like 1 day or less to sign up for the $10 or higher Patreon tier on my Patreon if you want, just in the month of December, to get a personally signed, rather expensive, rather rare card from me in the mail. Also, needless to say, if you are an existing patron, I almost called you guys Patreons. God, who am I? Every other YouTuber ever. Patrons, make sure that you fill out your shipping address, and correctly too, unlike eBay people who, as a whole, seem to not know where they live. It's like, oh, my package didn't show up. Do you live at this address? That's where I sent it. No. What? Why? What? How? When did you type this? Who has access to your account? How do you find your way home each day? Is it just by smell? Do you leave little breadcrumbs and hope that you don't get seagulls in the area? You just trust the bus driver and hopefully he drops you within sight of your house? Is that what it is? Get it together, eBay people. But Patreon people, also make sure that you fill in your address. I think I set it so that it will almost not let you pay for the month of November on December 1st without putting in your address if you're at the 10 or higher tier. But anyway, yeah, you might get a card legitimately worth more than $10. I mean, even without me signing it, even considering me dropping the value by signing it. So that'll be pretty cool. And feel free, since I'm not going to obviously do it then in January, to then be like, nah, screw you, and drop it down to like $1 or $0 or whatever. I'm basically using it as PayPal this month. You know, it's just, hey, you want to buy this? All right, do it. Hey, that's literally what Rudy does, whatever. So anyway, check that out if you're into it. Otherwise, t-shirts available, teespring.com. Check the link in the description. They're hilarious. They make wonderful gifts. I mean, you'd almost have to give them to somebody who watches my channel, but still, I mean, the table flip one is pretty universal. Actually, the mulligan one is too. Actually, none of them are direct references to my channel. Oh, except the mug. You guys should click on the link just to go see what the mug says. It's hilarious. So check that out. Get all of your entire Christmas shopping done between Patreon and Teespring, and I'll see you guys next video.